Hey everyone, it's Amy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you guys my review and some swatches of the brand new Illamasqua Beyond Powders. And these are two new illuminators that released last week, and I did pick up both shades. They come in two different shades. One is kind of a bronzy, kind of brown golden highlighter, and that one is Epic, or Illuminator I should say. And this is what it looks like. I will show you guys up close in a little bit, but it's just this really pretty bronzy color, and it's definitely too dark for me to do like a real highlight or illuminate. I could go very, very lightly. It's still a little too dark, but it doesn't look that bad. But the way I like to wear it is as a like blush topper, or if I'm doing a nude color, or as a bronzer color if I'm really just bronzing up the cheeks rather than like blush and contour. And so that's what I like to use this one for. Now the other shade, which I think people are going to be most excited about, is called OMG. And it's like, OMG, look at this color. It's so pretty. And here is what the packaging looks like. Now it is kind of big and bulky, but that's not a huge deal. It's actually very unique and cool. Like the shape, it's interesting. So you do get a really nice size mirror, and to tell you guys, you do get a total of 7 grams or 0.24 ounces, which is a really, really decent size. At first I was like, oh my god, that's huge. But then I started comparing it to my highlighters in my collection, and it's on the bigger range, but it's pretty average. Like, I want to say like my Urban Decay and Lorac highlighters were like 6 grams, and this one is 7. What's another one? The Laura Mercier Baked Highlighter, that one is 7.1 grams or something like that. So it's on the higher range as far as like getting a really good amount of product. So that's awesome, because these are a little bit on the pricey side. They do retail for $45 each, and you can only purchase them at Illamasqua.com. Let me tell you from the website what they say they are. They say they're a baked highlighting powder, subtly adding a warm hue to your complexion for a natural radiant glow. Whether you want to achieve an all-over illuminating finish or simply highlight certain points, Beyond's lightweight texture glides onto the skin effortlessly, creating a healthy, flawless skin finish. With the choice to apply wet or dry, it provides long-lasting results and can also be used on the body to achieve a natural bronze skin effect. So I do have the shade OMG, or oh my gosh, on my cheeks right now, and I did touch this up. I've been wearing it for about 6 hours, so I wanted to touch it up so that you guys could see like the full effect for this video. I also did put a little bit on my eyes today as a brightening effect. That has kind of disappeared, but granted, I was doing like a really easy makeup look today, so I didn't go in with primer or anything on my eyes, so I'm not surprised it kind of disappeared already. But it did look really cute in the beginning. It had like a little flush of color brightening up my eyes. Now I do think these would work really, really well as eyeshadows if you were to spray your brush with like a MAC Fix Plus or any kind of setting spray. They will kind of give that like foiled look to them, really pretty. Now the only thing I have to say is, I don't know if you guys can see, but maybe when I get up closer you'll be able to, there is a little bit of hard pan going on. Now I didn't find that that happened with a brush. It was when I was digging my hands in and swatching and like, you know, getting ready for this review and everything. And so I don't think it's gonna be a problem for the majority of you, because you guys aren't gonna be like swatching the crap out of these at home. You're gonna mostly just be using them as your, you know, with your brush. But if you are going to use them wet like they say you can to intensify the look, I would definitely put your brush in there, get the product you want, and then spray it separately. I would not go in and wet this product, because I think with the hard pan that is just not going to be good. It's definitely not going to deal with moisture very well. So let me zoom you guys up close so that you guys can see the colors, and then I will swatch them for you as well. Okay, so here is the shade OMG. If you guys can see like this little darkness right here, like that's the hard pan that I created with my finger, but after using a brush, like I didn't get that, so I don't think a lot of you will have issues with that. But it's such a pretty color, and these are so smooth. So let me swatch it for you. Here's what it looks like on the finger, and then swatch. You guys can see it glisten. It's such a beautiful champagne color. So here is the shade Epic, which is the bronzy shade with a little bit of gold in there, and it's still got a beautiful wearable color to it. You can see my hard pan I was creating, but this one is really, really pretty as well. If you guys have medium to deeper skin tones, this is gonna look beautiful on you. If you have fair skin tones like me, I would just go in with a really, really, really light hand if you intend on using it as a highlighter. Otherwise, I'll show you the brush I like to use when I use it as a topper. Look at that gorgeous sheen to both of them. They're so beautiful. Okay, so you guys just saw some close-ups of what they look like. I do have OMG on my face right now, and the way I like to apply either of these is with either my MAC my Morphe M501 brush. I tend to like to use this brush if I'm going for a very, very just like light illuminated look. If I don't want an intense highlight, I'll go in with this one. If I want a little bit more of an intense illumination or highlighter, or more of a highlighter effect, since these are technically illuminators, I'll go in with a more stiff, dense brush. So this is an Up and Up brush from, I was gonna say Tarte. From Target. And this is a dupe for like the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that came out with her highlighters last summer. This is definitely like a dupe for that brush, and this is perfect for, you know, packing it on your cheekbones and getting a little bit more of an intense color. Now what I like about both of these is that even though they're illuminators, they do give off quite a bit of glow, and they're much more pigmented than like say the Laura Mercier ones that I reviewed that I wasn't a huge fan of, because I thought they just looked like, you know, glitter bombs on your face and weren't very smooth, and they just had chunks of glitter and they settled into your fine lines. These are so smooth and buttery and soft to work with, but they're not so buttery that like they have tons of kick up. Your finger just glides onto it and it just seeps into your skin and gives such a beautiful swatch and color. They obviously aren't like as pigmented as some highlighters because they are illuminators, but I think they give a really nice natural effect. Now granted, I did put it back on for this video, but by the time like 6 hours had gone by, it wasn't as tense like this anymore, but you could still see like this natural sheen to my cheeks, where if I turned my head, I still would see like the natural glow that looked beautiful. Now if I'm not going to use a super light hand with my MAC, or I keep wanting to say MAC, Morphe 501 brush with the bronzer color, I will go in with something like this, like a dual fiber brush that blends out stuff really easily and kind of gives you a diffused look. And this is my Sigma dual fiber F50 brush, and that's what I'll use. I'll go in really lightly, still tap it off, and then I'll put it on the cheeks on top of like a bronzer if I'm doing more of a bronze look rather than bronzer and a blush. And so it looks really, really pretty when you do that, and much more natural than if I try to use this dark color as a highlighter alone. But like I said, if you go with a very, very light hand and really tap it off, if you have fair skin, you could still get away with it, but I would not go like super intense like this highlighter is with the bronze one if you have fair skin. Now if you have medium or darker skin tones, I think this one is going to look beautiful on your skin. It just has this beautiful bronzy golden sheen to it. Super pretty. So I'm really excited about these. I've never tried anything from Illamasqua. I've heard great things about their blushes, and so I was excited to pick these up. They're really pretty illuminators. I do think at least for $45 you're getting a really good size. They're good quality. You can use them as eyeshadows. You can put them all over the body if you wanted to. I like the fact that you can use them wet or dry. That does give you kind of more dual purposes, and so I'm really impressed though overall with these. I think they are worth picking up. If you're interested, I'd say that actually, depending on your skin tone, if you want the bronze shade because you'll get more uses out of it, I do think that this one is actually a better highlighter than the OMG one. This one is beautiful, but I think this one performs much more like an illuminator, whereas this one could pass as a highlighter. It's a little bit more intense. You can really, really, really pack it on the cheeks. I mean, I did kind of play with it and pack it on as if it was a highlighter, and I could get a really intense highlight. So I do think this one is a little bit better quality. However, they're both really great. This one looks really natural and pretty on the skin and wears throughout the day, and then by the end of the day you just have this beautiful sheen where you still, you turn your head and you're like, ooh, I do have like some, you know, shimmer and like glow to my face still. So it's not like it completely disappears. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hearing my review and getting to see swatches of these new Beyond Powders, which are illuminators from Illamasqua. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned to all my upcoming videos, and I will see you guys very soon.